Hello students, good morning. So today we will discuss the remaining questions of the determinant exercise. In previous class, I explained you how to calculate inverse, adjoint, cofactor, etc. Okay, so we'll further move. In exercise 4.5, we completed till question number 12. So in today's class, we will discuss question 12 unearths. So this is exercise 4.5. Most of the questions are similar in this chapter, so try only few of them. Once you are confident that I can calculate inverse or adjoint, so need not to try many questions. Okay, so kindly ensure yourself that you are able to find the inverse of a matrix. So inverse of matrix is most important part of this whole chapter. Reason behind that, inverse of matrix covers everything. It covers the value of determinant, it covers the cofactor portion, it covers the adjoint portion. So once we are able to calculate inverse, then you can say this chapter is over. Okay, so now you see the question number 13. In this it is given that a square minus 5a plus 7i equal to o. Such type of questions you have already done. You will find a square, that is a into a, and from that you will subtract 5a and add 7i. So in previous exercise we have done the similar type of question, so I will not take lot of time in this. So first we will calculate a square. So product of matrix we already know, so I'm not explaining each multiplication. You get this thing is a square. Now you write a square minus 5 into a plus 7 into I. Identity matrix will take the same order because we can add two matrices if they have the same order. So it is equal to O. So that part is not the main thing of this question. Second one part, hence find the inverse. So in this, most of the students commit one mistake. After proving it, they calculate A inverse using the normal method of calculating A inverse by calculating adjoint of A, and they divide it by determinant of A. So take care of this thing. In this one particular question, you need not to calculate A inverse using adjoint of A. You have to find A inverse using whatever you have proved. Like we proved in this question that a square minus 5a plus 7i equal to O. Alright, using this identity or this expression we'll find A inverse. Hence means first you will prove this thing, and by utilizing that we'll find A inverse. So what to do in that case? You see A square can be written as A into A. Now I will multiply this whole expression by A inverse. Whole expression by A inverse. So when I will multiply, I have taken it as A square minus 5a is equal to minus 7 identity in right hand side. Now multiply this whole identity by A inverse from right side. So it will become A square into A inverse, then 5a into A inverse, and right side it is 7 identity A inverse. Now which property will use? We'll use property that A into A inverse is always identity. And when we multiply identity with any matrix, you will get the same matrix. These two properties we'll use in this. So first, this is A into A inverse. Over here it is 5a into A inverse, that can be written as identity, and right side it is 7i into A inverse, so we can write it as A inverse. Again this A into A inverse will become identity. So it is A into identity. A into identity is again A only. A into identity is again A only. So we can write A inverse is equal to 1 upon 7 minus 1 upon 7 A minus 5i. Now you have the value of A as well as I. So just calculate. I've taken negative sign common, it will be 5i minus A. So you write just it as 1 upon 7. This is 5i minus A. So it is 1 upon 7 of this thing. This will be the A inverse. So it is a very simple thing. What to do, whatever expression you have to prove, and then he asks find A inverse. Hence, So using that we'll find A inverse. So we'll multiply by A inverse and we'll use the identities that A into A inverse is equal to identity matrix and identity into A inverse is equal to A only. See, we'll see the question, next question. It is also similar one. It is given A is equal to 3121. Find the values of number A and B that A square plus small a into A plus bi equal to O. No problem. In the same way, you first get the value of A square. That is A into A. A square is A into A. So we are multiplying this matrix with this. You are going to get it is 11483. No problem. Now, you have to find small a and small b. So what I will do, it is given that A square plus A plus bi equal to O. So again, I will multiply this by A inverse throughout. All the terms I will multiply by A inverse. This will become A into A inverse using associative property. A into A inverse is equal to identity. And in this, I into A inverse is equal to A inverse only. Clear? So now what is this? It is A into I plus AI plus B into A inverse. Now this A into I can also be written as A only. So now we get A inverse is equal to, from this A inverse is equal to minus 1 upon B A plus AI. All right. We'll get the value of A inverse. Value of A inverse is actually 1 upon determinant of A into adjoint of A. So determinant of A will calculate the value of this determinant, will calculate it is 3 minus 2, that is 1. And adjoint of A, in case of 2 into 2 matrix, we can directly calculate this. To calculate adjoint, you have to interchange the diagonal elements. So we have interchanged the diagonal elements and we'll change the sign of other two elements. So it will be minus 2 and minus 1. The same method I have explained. So this is your A inverse. Now you substitute the value of A inverse and A in this. So A inverse is equal to minus 1 upon B into A. Minus 1 upon B into A plus AI. I have taken A plus AI. Now you will equate both these two matrices. Right side we get this thing, left side it is equal to this much. So on equating the corresponding terms, so in this one term will be when we'll multiply this minus 1 by b with all the elements of this matrix, this one particular element will get minus 1 upon a, minus 1 upon b, and left side it is given equal to minus 1. So this minus 1 upon b will be minus 1, by that you can get the value of b. Similarly, this element you will get 3 plus a divided by b, minus 3 plus a divided by b, and that will be equal to 1. As b already given equal to 1, we have obtained it is equal to 1. You put the value of b equal to 1, you will get the value of a. Come to the next question. It is given, a matrix is given and you have to show that a cube minus 6a square plus 5a plus 11i equal to O. Hence find A inverse. So again it's a simple question. First A is there. So we'll find A square by multiplying A with A. So we got A square. It is equal to this much. Multiplication part I am not explaining. I suppose you know this. Then only you have reached up to these questions. Now we multiply A square by A again to get the A cube. So it is A square into A and we got A cube. Now you have A cube. You already have A square, you already have A and identity matrix. You arrange all these in this one particular expression, because this is A cube, this is A square, this is A, and identity matrix in this case you have to take 3 into 3 order. So I am replacing all the values. A cube minus 6 into A square minus plus 5 into A plus 11 into identity matrix. You multiply all the element of this by 6, all the element of this by 5, all the element of this by 11. Now you add all these at once or separately. It is up to you. I can add all these at once. It is 8 minus 24 plus 5 plus 11. That will be the first element. So in this way you add these and you are going to get it is equal to O. Thereby we have proved that A cube minus 6a square plus 5a plus 11i equal to O. By using this, you have to find A inverse. So to find A inverse, as we did in earlier question, you just multiply it by A inverse. throughout you multiply by this by A inverse, and after multiplying this by A inverse throughout, use the identity that A into A inverse is equal to identity. So I have taken it as A into inverse. This A into A inverse is A into A inverse. This term is also 5A into A inverse. This is identity into A inverse. This thing will write A inverse only. This will write I only. In this also, this will write I only. This is also I. So it will remain A square minus 6A plus 5I equal to minus 11A inverse. So A inverse will be equal to minus 1 by 11 A square minus 6A plus 5I. Now guys, you have to calculate A square minus 6A plus 5I. You already have value of A square. You already have value of A. You already have value of I. So you calculate A square minus 6A plus 5I. Multiply all the terms of this by 6. Multiply all the terms of this by 5. Then you add all these three. We will get A square minus 6A plus 5I is this much. Whereas A inverse in our previous step, we have proved it is equal to minus 1 upon 11 A square minus 6A plus 5I. So you divide this by minus 1 by 11. It is A square minus 6A plus 5I. You are going to get this as the inverse of this. Now question number 16, you can try yourself in the same way. Alright, question number 16, nothing new is there. It is repetition of question number 15. A is given, you have to prove A cube minus 6A square plus 9A minus 4I equal to O. I will explain you the steps only. A is given, you will multiply A by A to get A square. This is A square. Now you will multiply this A square by A to get A cube. In this way, now we have A square and A cube, and identity matrix will take a matrix of 3 order. Now you arrange, you have to prove that A cube minus 6A square plus 9A minus 4I is O. So you arrange all these things. This is A cube minus 6A square plus 9A minus 4I. You multiply this by 6, multiply this by 9, all the elements, multiply all the elements by 4, and now you add all these. In steps or at once, you will get this is equal to 0, 0, 0. All elements are 0 means it is equal to O. Now to find A inverse, as we did in previous question, you multiply all the terms of this by A inverse. So it is A into A inverse. A into A inverse again. We can club this A and A inverse. We can club this A and A inverse. This is already A into A inverse. 4AI into A inverse we can change over to this side. Now A into A inverse is identity matrix. So you put A into A inverse is identity matrix, and I into A inverse is equal to A inverse only. So you will have 4A inverse is equal to A square minus 6A plus 9I. So A inverse will be equal to 1 upon 4 A square minus 6A plus 9I. Now you already have A square, you already have A and I. So you just find A square minus 6A plus 9I. So this is A square minus 6A plus 9I. You multiply all the terms of this by 6, all the terms of this by 9, and add them. You will get this is A square minus 6A plus 9I. But A inverse is 1 upon 4 of this. So you just divide this by 1 by 4, multiply by 1 by 4, you will get the answer. Clear? Now come to the question number 17. Let A be a non-singular matrix of 3 into 3 order. Then adjoint of A is equal to, as I have already explained you, determinant of adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A raised to power. Determinant of adjoint of A is equal to, you can directly use the formula which I am giving you. Need not to solve in this way. Determinant of adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A raised to power n minus 1, where n is the order of matrix. In this case, it is 3 into 3 matrix is given. So determinant of adjoint of A is determinant of A square. In this way, we can write this is the answer. Or if explicitly you want to do it, what we will do, we know that adjoint of A into A is equal to determinant of A into identity. This property we have used. Adjoint of A into A and A into adjoint of A is determinant of A into identity matrix. This we know. So what can you do? Adjoint of A into A, it is equal to determinant of A into identity matrix. So determinant of A into identity matrix will be this much. Means all the elements of identity matrix are multiplied by determinant of A. So adjoint of A into A is determinant of A into identity matrix. So I have taken the identity matrix and all the elements are multiplied by determinant of A. Now you find the determinant both the sides. So left hand side it will become adjoint of A into A determinant, and right hand side we will calculate determinant of this. And determinant of this will become, this is using the property of determinant. There is a property that determinant of A into B is determinant of A into determinant of B. So I have written it as determinant of adjoint of A into A is equal to determinant of adjoint of A into determinant of A. Right side you can take this determinant of A as common, all right, or it will come determinant of A cube only if you will calculate it. You just find the value of this determinant. So adjoint of A determinant into determinant of A is equal to determinant of A cube. On the basis of that, you can get this as the answer. Question number 18. If A is the invertible matrix of order 2, then determinant of A inverse is equal to. A is a invertible matrix of order 2, then determinant of A inverse is equal to. Now see, we know that A inverse is equal to adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. We know this thing. If it is an invertible matrix, then A inverse means it is invertible. So we know that A inverse is equal to adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. This is the formula to calculate the A inverse. Okay, so A inverse is defined. In this question, what is given? A is a invertible matrix of order 2. Then determinant of A inverse. I will explain this by some other method, you see. I will write A is invertible matrix. So A into A inverse will be equal to identity matrix. If I take determinant both the sides, so A into A inverse determinant is equal to determinant of identity matrix. We know determinant of identity matrix will be 1 only. And left side you apply the property determinant of A into A inverse will become determinant of A into determinant of A inverse. This property I just explained in previous question also. Because it is given that if you have to find determinant of A into B, it will be equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. So I'm using the same property, determinant of A into A inverse would be equal to determinant of A into determinant of A inverse. Clear? So now what we can do? You have to find determinant of A inverse, this thing. What is this? This is determinant of A inverse. So determinant of A inverse would be equal to 1 upon determinant of A. That is the answer. So do in this way. We will start with this, that we know that A into A inverse is equal to identity matrix. If we find determinant both the sides. So I put determinant both the sides. Determinant of identity matrix, whether it is a 2 into 2 order or 3 into 3 order, it will be always equal to 1. So the right side as it is equal to 1. Left side we can use this property that if we take the product of two matrices, determinant of product of two matrices, that will be equal to product of determinant of individual matrices. So A into A inverse determinant will be equal to determinant of A into determinant of A inverse. By that you can get the value of determinant of A inverse is equal to 1 upon determinant of A. That is the answer of this question. So you can do in this way. Exercise 4.6. First question is examine the consistency of the system of equations. Although consistency to find is for this year, it is not in your syllabus, but just check it. What to do to find the consistency? It's quite simple. First of all, we will express these two equations in matrix form. So you will get A matrix, that is the matrix of coefficients of x and y. You will get X a column matrix. It is the column matrix of variables, as it is a two variable equation. So in column we will have only two variables. And B is a column matrix of the constant terms. Column matrix of constant terms, which are there in right hand side, 2 and 3. Now we can write this as Ax equal to B is the matrix representation of this. Ax equal to B is matrix representation. For consistency, first of all, we'll check determinant of A. Okay, we'll find the determinant of A. So if you calculate determinant of A, you see it is -1. Determinant of A, it is 3 minus 4, that is equal to -1. Fine, which is not equal to 0. Whenever determinant of A is not equal to 0, you can say the system is consistent and with the unique solution. As determinant of A is not equal to 0, so this system is consistent. So this question is over. In the similar way, in question number 2, examine the consistency of system of equations. Again, two equations are given. So we'll find the matrix form of these. We will define A. A is the matrix of coefficients of x and y. X is a column matrix of variables, and B is a column matrix of constant terms, which are in right hand side of both the equations. Again, we will calculate in this determinant of A. You see it is 2 plus 1. As determinant of A is 3, which is not equal to 0. If determinant of A is not equal to 0, means system is consistent with the unique solution. Now come to the question number 3. Again, you want to check the consistency of these two equations. So first of all, we'll write determinant of matrix A. It is the matrix of coefficients of x and y. You see coefficient of x and y in first equation is 1 and 3. So I have taken it as 1 and 3. Second equation, it is 2 and 6. So I have taken it as 2 and 6. X is a column matrix of variables. In two variables, it is xy only. In three variable equation, it will be xyz. And B is a matrix of the constant terms, 5 and 8. Now we will calculate in this determinant of A. And you see in this case it is 0. 6 minus 6, it is equal to 0. As determinant of A is equal to 0, then what will be the method? You just see. We will calculate adjoint of A into B now to check the consistency. A student appearing in exam for 2021 need not to do it. Okay, because it's not in your syllabus, consistency and inconsistency for this year. So we will calculate adjoint of A into B. If determinant of A is not equal to 0, you can directly say that system is consistent. But if determinant of A equal to 0, we have to calculate adjoint of A into B. So first we obtained adjoint. Adjoint I have already explained in previous exercises. So you can try yourself. If you still have doubt, try those exercises again. Okay, in a separate video I have explained how to find the adjoint, but in 2 into 2 I can tell you it is very simple. Just interchange the diagonal elements and change the sign of other two elements. That's all. So in this case, 1 and 6 are interchanged. So 6 will be at this place, 1 will be at this place, and change the sign of these two. I got adjoint of A. You multiply this with B. Multiply this with B, adjoint of A into B. B is a column matrix already given. You see this is B. So I am multiplying adjoint of A with B. Just multiply these two matrices, you will get it is equal to a matrix which is not equal to O. If it is a non-zero matrix, if determinant of A is not equal to 0, means system is consistent. But if determinant of A equal to 0, then you have to find adjoint of A into B. This is the method. Now, if adjoint of A into B is not equal to 0, as it is in this one particular case, if it is not equal to 0, then you can say system will have no solutions. It is inconsistent. That's all. It is inconsistent. So we'll write system is inconsistent. And if it is also equal to 0, listen me carefully. If adjoint of A into B is also equal to 0, then you will declare that system is consistent with infinitely many solutions. You need not to calculate those solutions. So if determinant of A is 0, first we'll find adjoint of A, then we'll find adjoint of A into B. Adjoint of A into B can be 0 or can be non-zero. If adjoint of A into B is non-zero, then you will say system is inconsistent. That is the only condition for inconsistency of system. In all other cases, it will be consistent. In question number 4, it is a 3 into 3 matrix is given. Examine the consistency of system of equations. So again, we'll first of all express A. A is a matrix of the coefficients of x, y, z. You see in first equation, these coefficients are 1, 1, 1. So I have taken 1, 1, 1. Second equation, these coefficients are 2, 3, 2. So I have taken 2, 3, 2. Third equation, these are A and 2A. So this is A. X is a column matrix of variables. So there are 3 variables. So I have taken common matrix of 3 variables. In previous questions, it was a 2 variables. So I have taken a column matrix of 2 variables. B is a column matrix of these constants. So 1, 2, 4. Now to check the consistency, our first step will find the value of determinant of A. Okay, value of determinant of A. In this question, it comes out to be, you just calculate it, it is not equal to 0. So we can say A inverse exists. So system is consistent. Again, in question number 5, examine the consistency of this. So in question number 5, again 3 matrices are given. You see in second matrix, there is no term of x, means its coefficient will take it as 0. It can be read as 0x plus 2y minus z equal to minus 1. And third equation, you can read it as 3x minus 5y plus 0z. So we'll express this in terms of the matrix. Your A will be 3, minus 1 and minus 2 is the first row. It is 0, 2 and minus 1. It is 3, minus 1 and 0. X is a column matrix of x, y, z. B is a column matrix of constant terms. You will get the value of determinant of A. In this question, it comes out to be 0. Whenever determinant of A is 0, you can't say directly whether system is consistent or not. When determinant of A is equal to 0, you will have to first find adjoint of A. So you will find yourself adjoint of A. I'm not explaining again the same thing. If you have doubt, go to the exercise of adjoint of A and first solve those. Without knowing the inverse or adjoint of A, you can't do this chapter. So the first objective is to find A inverse directly. So adjoint of A we found. You multiply this by B. It is adjoint of A into this matrix B. You got it is not equal to O. If adjoint of A into B is a non-zero matrix, we can say system is inconsistent and will not have any solutions. So I am again repeating the whole process. You find determinant of A. If it is not 0, first thing, you can directly declare that system is consistent and will have unique solution. But if determinant of A is 0, then you have to find adjoint of A into B first before declaring anything. So adjoint of A into B will be either a null matrix or it is a non-zero matrix. If adjoint of A into B is a non-zero matrix, then you can say it will not have any solution and it is inconsistent. But if adjoint of A into B is also a null matrix, then you can say it will have infinitely many solutions. Come to this question. Again, we will write A, X and B that I have explained in all the questions. Find the determinant of A from this. It is like in this case, it is 51. So it is a non-singular matrix, means system is consistent. Question number 7, solve system of linear equation using matrix method. Now how to solve the system of linear equations using matrix method. Do 2-3 questions, need not to try all, and you will be able to solve them. Like in this case, it is given solve system of linear equation using matrix method. One very important example is there. So don't forget to solve examples of this exercise. So our first method is I will express this whole system of equation in matrix form. So A is a matrix of coefficients of x and y. X is a matrix of variables and B is a matrix of constant terms. These things I have explained in previous 6 questions. First step in my video how to solve equations, I explained you how to find the solution. So first of all, this will be the first step. You can note down the steps. You have to find value of determinant of A in first step. it is not 0 in this case. So now you are sure that solution is possible. You are sure that solution is possible. Now, if it is possible, then only we'll move further. If determinant of A is 0, then we'll not move further. So therefore, A inverse exists. Now, find the A inverse. So we know that A inverse is equal to adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. Adjoint of A we'll find from this, and we'll divide this by determinant of A. You got A inverse. Now your X will be equal to A inverse into B. Directly you can use it. Although previously I have explained how you got X is equal to A inverse into B. So you multiply this A inverse by this B. You got a column matrix, but this X is actually XY, and A inverse into B is coming equal to this much. You equate the corresponding elements to get the answer. Next question I am not going to explain. You can try it yourself in the same way. PDF, you can just take the photo, a screenshot if you are on mobile, or otherwise also you can still the video and you can note it down if you still have doubts. So question number 8 I am not going to explain because it is the same. Question number 9 also it is same. It is 2 into 2 matrix. Solve system of linear equations. The same method, you get A, X and B. Find the value of determinant of A. It is not equal to 0. It means matrix is non-singular, means inverse exists, so we can find the solution. To find the solution, first of all, we'll find the A inverse, that will be equal to 1 upon determinant of A into adjoint of A. So you got A inverse, X will be equal to A inverse into B. So A inverse, you will multiply A inverse by B, you got X. X is a column matrix, it is A inverse into B, that is also a column matrix. You equate the corresponding terms. In this way we can find it. Now question number 10, all are similar. Question number 11, it is a 3 variable equation is given. So I will explain one 3 variable equation question. First you express that in the matrix form. First of all, these 3 equations are given. In this there is no term of X. It means you will take it as 0x. Okay, that is the only new thing in this. So this is matrix A, it is a 3 into 3 matrix. Now X will be a column matrix of XYZ and B is a column matrix of constant term in the right hand side. These 1, 3 by 2 and 9, that will be B. Our first step is find the value of determinant of A. You got it, it is not equal to 0, 34. So A inverse exists, means system is consistent. Now what will you do? You will find adjoint of A. So to calculate adjoint of A, all the cofactors are calculated over here. So you can try to calculate cofactors first, and then A inverse is actually adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. So I have obtained A inverse in this. We know that X is equal to A inverse into B. So I will multiply this A inverse by B. You multiply these both the matrices. Right hand side you will get these 3 terms. It is 1 upon 34, 34, 17 minus 51. You can take this 34 inside. It is 1/2 and minus 3 by 2. That is the right hand side. In left hand side, this capital X is nothing but it is X, Y, Z. Equate the corresponding terms to get the value of X, Y, Z. Next question is just similar. Nothing special is there. So solution is given in this case. You will follow the same step. First you will write X, A, X and B, all 3 matrices. Then you will find determinant of A, that you know. In next step, it is not equal to 0, means you can solve the system of equations. In next step, we found the determinant of A. Next step, you will find adjoint of A and A inverse. Then you will write capital X is equal to A inverse into B. A inverse into B, again you will get a column matrix, and X is also a column matrix. Equating the corresponding terms, you will get the answer. Question number 13 is also same. So solution is given over here. You will follow the same steps and you try few questions. Need not to try all these. As soon as you are sure that you can now solve these, don't need not to waste your time. If it is a different type of question, then you have to try in all these. We are not doing anything. The main objective is just you find A inverse and your X will be equal to A inverse into B. So 3-4 questions you will try, you will be able to solve all of them. The question number 14 is also similar. Question number 14 is also similar. I am showing you the solution. So in case of any difficulty, you can take help from this. No further explanation is required. There is nothing new in these questions. Everything is same. You find a capital A, capital X, capital B, get the value of determinant of A, and it is not zero in this case also. Now you get the adjoint of A, and A inverse is adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. Now you have A inverse, so your X will be equal to A inverse into B. Multiply this A inverse with the B. You will get X, replace X by XYZ. This side also you will get column matrix. Equate both these two to get the value of XYZ. Okay, this is a little bit different question. Nothing is different, only some explanation is needed. Question number 15. So I am explaining it. One matrix is given, this, and he's asking to find A inverse. No problem. We can easily find A inverse of a matrix. So first of all, before going to and using this, solve the system of equations. So before going to solve the system of equation, I will find A inverse. So first of all, I will find the determinant of A. It is coming -1, which is not equal to 0. It means A inverse exists. This is the step to find the A inverse. Now I will find adjoint of A. So these are the cofactors of all the elements. So adjoint is transpose of matrix, cofactor matrix. So A inverse is actually adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. I got this as the A inverse. So my first part is over. Now what to find? You have to solve these equations. So I will start with that. So first of all, I will derive equation matrix A. It is the matrix of coefficient of XYZ. So from this, if you get the matrix of coefficient of XYZ, 2, -3 and 5 first row, 3, 2 and -4 second row, and 1, 1 and -2 third row. Column matrix X is column matrix of variables XYZ, B is column matrix of the constant. Now we know that X is equal to A inverse into B. All right, X is actually XYZ, B we already have. Now A inverse, you see, actually this A and this A is same. That is the only trick in this question. You need not to find A inverse again. In this question, he has already asked to find A inverse in advance. And this A and this A are same. In the given question, you have to find the inverse of this to calculate the system of equations. So you directly put the value of A inverse as equal to this much. Because the question is given in two parts. First part, you have to find inverse of this. It may not be same equal to this, but in this case, this matrix and this matrix are same. While solving the equations, we need the inverse of this A inverse. That is already given, so you need not to find it again. You just replace the value of the inverse of this equal to this much. So I have replaced this value. Now you multiply both right hand side, and in this way you can get the value of X, Y and Z. So in this way we will be able to solve this question also. The last one question is there. This is the question number 16. The cost of 4 kg onion, 3 kg wheat and 2 kg rice is 60 rupees. Similarly, second data is given. The cost of 2 kg onion, 4 kg wheat and 6 kg rice is given. Third data is 6 kg onion, 2 kg wheat and 3 kg rice is given. Find the cost of each item as per matrix. So what we'll do, we will let cost of onion is rupees X per kg, wheat is rupees Y per kg, and third rice is rupees Z per kg. So we'll form three equations. It will be the 4x plus 3y plus 2z will be 60. That is equation number 1. Similarly, 2 kg onion 2x plus 4y plus 6z equal to 90. That is equation number 2. And 6x plus 2y plus 3z equal to 70. This is equation number 3. You have to find the value of x, y, and z. Now you can easily find this using the matrix method. So first of all, A is our matrix of the coefficient of x, y, z. X is a column matrix and B is a column matrix of the constant terms. Find the value of determinant of A. On calculating, it comes out to be 50, which is not equal to 0, means you can find the solution. A inverse exists. Now, first of all, we will find the A inverse. For that, you will calculate adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. So, we got adjoint of A and A inverse is equal to determinant adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. We got this thing. Now, we will use the same property X is equal to A inverse into B. So, it is A inverse. You multiply this with B and replace xy column matrix xyz. So xyz is equal to it, right hand side is actually 5, 8 and 8. So you can get x is equal to 5, y equal to 8 and z equal to 8. Thereby we have the cost per kg of all these items. So guys, in this way we are able to complete your exercise 4.6. Okay, now only miscellaneous is left, that I will explain you in next class. Now take care of one thing, don't forget to solve solved examples of NCERT. All solved example of all miscellaneous chapters are very important. So follow these instructions. Thank you.